Hello, welcome back. Thank you to the one person who subscribed. I can't see your name, but thank you. And actually, I was gonna say assuming you're not a bot, but honestly, if you're a bot, I don't really care. I got a new setup. I'm just gonna try this for today, but if I don't like it, I think I won't. I'm gonna move my camera around again, but I just cable managed everything and then removed the paint, so. We're gonna roll with this for today. In the interim, I know what I'm gonna do today, which is nice. I am going to do my Exalted sorcerers. So I was playing around with this guy yesterday. He gave me an idea of what I want to work on. So I did the cloak, the back of the cloak. With my new favorite color, doomfire magenta, and I quite love it. So then I also did his arms. You might have remembered I dry brushed this guy before and then I didn't like the results, so I went back and gave him a bit of white and hit him up with a bit of contrast paint instead, and I'm much happier with that. But yeah, I'm going to do something I haven't done yet, which is I'm going to batch paint today. Just so you guys can see it for these three, because that is the pile of paints I have just to finish the details, and there's actually more that I need. So yeah, I'm gonna batch paint these guys, and you're gonna see me do that. So. Don't want my Chucky bar. That's a snack for later. Which brush do I want? I want this brush. So the first thing we're going to be hitting up with these guys is we're going to be doing their Alright, and we are back. Same day for me, probably 2 weeks later for you. And we're going to start contrasting. So, I'm going to start by doing their skirts. Like I said, I'm going to batch these guys, so I'm going to do all their skirts. Luckily, contrasting goes super quick. So, I'm going to do this guy here. We're going to take our time so we don't pull this paint everywhere. Just going to work it up there. Okay, so this is Doomfire Magenta. Very nice Thousand Sunsy color. I wish I had known about it beforehand. I did all my other guys, my original Thousand Suns with Screamer Pink. Ooh, that's going to be a touch-up. That's how I did all my capes prior to this. And there's nothing wrong with Screamer Pink. I love Screamer Pink. It is probably my second favorite color. Now to this Doomfire Magenta. It just, doesn't. You're just using regular paint, so getting the detail and the crevices and all that, I loved on my other guy how much this made the cape look more alive. Right, as it flows into these details. So yeah, the Araman I had last week, he was done with Screamer Pink. Yeah. Now the fun part, trying to get up and underneath there without extremely touching anything else. It doesn't look like that's going to work, so it looks like I'm just going to have to accept, and I'm going to do some touch-ups, which is sometimes the way it goes when you've pre-assembled your models before you painted them. Alright, now that that's done, back to some heavy coating here. Yeah, look at that. The dogs are upset. It's okay, guys. I don't know what you heard, but it's okay. This is your daily reminder that when you're using contrast paints, use your garbage brushes. I've lost too many good brushes to contrast paints over the short time I've been doing this, so, you know, learn from me. If you don't learn one thing from me, it's cheap brushes you don't care about for contrast paints. Alright. So that's a skirt done. Look at that. Look how nice and vibrant that is. Next up for this guy is his cape. A bit heavy there. I'm just going to pull that down. Now his cape also has a gold pattern that I'll get to in a later video, because today I just want to do some contrast. Just letting all of that kind of settle in and pull around. I'm trying not, where I know there's going to be gold, I'm trying not to go very heavy, because I know that that's going to be filled in, but I also know I'm going to cover it, so I'm not super worried about it. Now this is going to be a hard part right here. If there is such a thing as a hard part while doing contrast paints, this will be it. Because that edge is curled over on itself, which means that part of it is the inside of the cape and part of it is the outside of the cape. So I don't want to get that with this, because that'll take a bit of covering to try and fix that whoopsie daisy. As I've told you guys before, I don't mind picking an oopsie daisy or two, but I don't want to pick a whole bouquet. I don't want a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies. There's a whole gold pattern there, but I don't think I'm going to use it. And then this side of the cape. Memphis, I can hear you licking yourself, buddy. You having a good time? Yeah. Ooh. Just fix that real quick. Okay. So yeah, a lot of this area here is to be golded, like that trim. So that's fine to leave that color. But ooh, there we go. Nice, nice and vibrantly doom-fired. I'm just going to put him aside. Highlight our other guy who's also getting a good bath in doomfire. I'm actually going to come back to the doomfire on this guy in the end because he's got that big kind of warp flame thing going on. Oh shit. 1 second, I gotta shut up and focus here for a second. There we go. Because he's got that big kind of warp flame thing going on here at the bottom. And I'm going to use the same recipe I used at Aramon, I think, for him. Where I'm going to go Doomfire, Frosthearth, and I don't think I'm going to use Tesseract Glow this time. I think I'm going to go Doomfire, Frosthearth, and Purple. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. Oop, bit heavy again. It's the fun part with contrast paints. One thing I have found, and maybe this is just my experience, with very vibrant contrast paints like this, it does help if you do kind of treat it like a regular paint at times, in that I want to pull everything in one direction. Like, I mean, there's a tendency to look, it's just a blob of color. It's going to fit and fill everywhere I want. But it does get a little cleaner if I just pull everything the same way. There we go. Second guy doomfired. Lovely color. So that's my doomfirage. Next up is my lining, which I'm going to use Yandon Yellow. Ooh, I've got a lot of Doomfire on my hands. I'm going to take that off before I Doomfire my clothes, my models, everything. Yeah, look at that. So I'm going to go back to this guy. Alright, ooh, I should shake this first. So yeah, some Yandon Yellow for this guy. Now, this brush might be too big for this, but we're going to find out. Because I go pretty light for this. So, what we're going to do is the same thing I did with my rubric marines. If you saw those, my lore accurate rubric marines. And it's just put on a very reasonable, not very thick, a very reasonable coat of Yandon Yellow. The reason we don't do it very thick is because we don't actually want it to run a pool. We just want it to tint the white. And in yellow has a bit of an orangey tint to it. So if you put it on too thick, what'll happen is it will come through more orangey than yellowy. Nope, that's not working for me. I don't know if you guys can see this, I can struggle. There we go. The nice thing about doing it this way that I've learned is that because everything else is gold, that little bit of overrun doesn't really notice. So we can get nice clean yellow. Oh, I was going to doomfire this guy. I was going to doomfire this guy's sleeve and I didn't do it. I'm just going to take a quick hot second here. We're going to Corax that. And we're going to Corax that and that. Yeah, fuck it. I know in all future videos, if I'm saying I'm using Corax, I'm using White Scar. This is a new one I'm trying. I haven't used it before. This is the first time the pot's been opened. This is Fuegan Orange. I'm thinking about getting the new Votown guy. Ooh, this is so thin. I need a better shake. I'm thinking about getting the new Votown guy. They just unveiled. Yeah, it needs a big shake. With the Tyranid on him. But my Votown's paint scheme is purple. So I don't know how it's going to look, but I think what I might do is paint his Tyranid guy orange. Ooh, this is a really light color. This feels like it's just not mixed well enough, but I did give it a good shake. I'm just going to put it on a little heavy. I hope that addresses it. Okay. And a touch of Doomfire. Because you can never have too much Doomfire. Like Guy Fieri with the cream frige. Just always add a little bit of cream frige, always add a little bit of Doomfire. You get a little Doomfire, and you get a little Doomfire. Some touch-ups to do now, but that is all right. Touch-ups are fine. We don't mind touch-ups. I don't think we mind touch-ups. Do we mind touch-ups? Do we mind touch-ups? Yeah, she says we don't mind touch-ups. I'm gonna give this foot even more of a wipe and shake. There's nothing on the bottom. It's got a good color, but it's just very light. If it's not pooled, it's not showing up at all. Okay. Alright, we'll put that away for now. Back to our Yandin. Sorry, not a scander. Bait on the brain. Okay. See, now that's what I mean. A little bit too heavy there. And there. But, beautiful thing. With a contrast paint. Bit too much, wick it away. Look at that. Yeah, we also take advantage of yellow as awful coverage because, like I said, if you overrun a little bit, it's hardly noticeable, right? If you overrun a little bit of your yellow onto your blue, it basically barely shows up. So you're taking advantage of the fact that yellow is an awful color to work with. And my buddy, who's playing Tau, God rest his soul, he is doing an entire yellow color scheme, and I told him he's fucking insane. One second, I have my girlfriend to come see me. And we're back. And we're back to finish yellowing this guy. And then I'm going to move on to some other stuff with this guy. I'm just going to darken this guy a little bit right there because there's a little bit of blue showing through. And I have a part of him that I didn't Corax right. But we'll finish the yellowing first. And it looks like my dog just kicked open my door. And it's decided that he's coming in. Because God forbid he spends some time with his mother. Look at that. Let me tell you, this Corax and God damn it, this White Scar and Eandon strat has saved me so much pain and misery. Painting these yellow lines on these guys. this guy. I'm going to do a touch of whitening. Just a touch. I'm using way too big a brush for what I want to do, but there we go. Ah, oh my god, he hooked my sleeve. Yep, 1 second. And we're back again. So, yeah, I've got a few different things to do with this guy. Now that I've got him properly magentified. God, I do love that magenta though. Let's just take a minute to appreciate Doomfire Magenta again, as everyone should. This guy's going to get a ton of contrast. A lot of my different colors. I also want to see how the Fuegan. Yeah. I like it, but it's just... just so thin. I'm going to dig deep this time. Fuegan orange, not a great color. But we're committed. Okay. So, this guy here, I have to do his little feathery boops. This big feather here. I have to do his arm. And I'm missing one color. Because I know the color I want to do his arm. 1,000 Suns. Unless I took it, there it is. We're going to start his arms. With generous. This is my smaller or my bigger brush? Smaller. Alright, we're going to start his arms with a generous Briar Queen Chill. There we go. So we're just going to now this one here, I found I have to go quite heavy on. So I'm just going to pop open the pot here. When I have to do blue skin, this tends to be my go-to because I like to use, again, I don't have every paint in the world, so having something like this, it is quite nice for this kind of stuff. It's my go-to for blue skin because I don't like a vibrant blue for skin unless it's something like my Zongor. But to be fair, this is, while I did add highlights to my Zongor with my Frost Hearth, this is the main skin color of them. This is the base, what I did underneath. It's very muted color. Like I said, I think it's perfect for doing blue skin. At least for me, for what I want. Like I said, I don't want the vibrant blue. I want my blue skin to look a little more muted than the other colors going on. Like skin. At least in my mind, that's what skin is. It's always going to be more muted. So, the only thing with this one here is that if you want it to hide something, you've got to put it on pretty thick. It very much shows the top. Go. So that's his frost. That's his Briarcrown Chill for his hands. And now his staff. So another second. And moving on to this guy's staff, for which I'm going to use a little bit of my Army Painter colors. And the first one, I'm going to try, this is Army Painter Speed Paint. And the first one I'm going to try is, ooh, I like that. They're purple, they're vivid purple. I have the center here with that. This would also be a fine one to do Tesseract Glow on. I just don't want to use it right now because I use it on a lot of other stuff. But while I'm at it, do my stereotypical Zinchi feather. Which is a blue into a purple. So I'm going to start with this purple. switch out. Switch over. Woo, almost in the coin. Some Frost Hearth. And I'm just gonna work that down along there. Ooh, that army painter paint dries fast. A lot faster than I thought it would. Make a little transition right there. Yeah. All right. Now what we're gonna do. Yeah, I like that arm. So we're going to take a good glob or hoplite gold contrast paint. And do the top of the staff here. And normally I would decry using 2 different shades of gold, but I also just want to see how this looks, and this is a very twisty, curvy kind of shape, so it seems like it's perfect. There's a lot of edges, a lot of raised areas. It kind of seems like it's perfect to try and add a contrast to. And later in the wash step, I'll still hit it with a bit of Reichland just to try and blend it together a bit better. Yeah. Huh. A little accidental doomfire there. Works out. Might as well do the other side too. Sometimes you don't even know you're supposed to doomfire something, and then it just... Damn, that color is such good coverage. And then boom, the doomfire speaks to you. Yeah. Speaking of doomfire, I know this is the color combination I want here, so I might as well get this out too. That's what I'm going to go with for the flames. Just blend those together a little bit. Yeah, I found this combination when I was doing Aramon. Really quite love the way the Frost Hearth and the Doomfire just kind of blend together very nicely. So yeah, just add a couple spots here. Couple spots here. I'm going to try and whip away just a little bit. Yeah, I definitely love that for like a Zinchi flame. Okay. Now the rest of this guy's staff in the art is metallic. I kind of want to do something different though. If it doesn't work, I can just paint it metallic. But I kind of want to try something like this. Yeah, where it kind of looks like maybe like energy or something. I think I just need to go a little heavier on the purple. Quite so light on the purple. And same thing down here. Standard frost hearth. Pretty heavy. Remove some. Yeah. So this is what I've ended up with this guy today. I actually see some spots that I have to re-magentify. But this is my favorite thing about working with contrasts. Not re-magentifying, but how much you can do in such a short amount of time. Right. What a pretty job you can do in a little amount of time. And like if you zenithed your models, like if you gave them a proper zenith, you'd have an absolutely gorgeous harem, even prettier than what this is, right? Even prettier than what this is. Just straight up prettier than what that is. Okay. Now, this is my last one. You know what? I'm actually going to go back to the army painter. For this guy, what I got to do is a little flame here. I know what I want. Don't know if it's going to work, but I know what I want. We are going to go purple. Quite a heavy purple. Right to about there. And then the same thing on the other side. then quickly switch over to Frost Hearth right about here. Just blend those together as best I can. Well, they're still wet. And a little bit extra there. And Frost Hearth right here. Okay. So we're purple, we're frosty. And then I'm going to come back in with the magenta. Blend those together a little bit. I'm also gonna try to hit some spots here and there with it. Kind of blended magenta color along some of the edges of the flames where it might be a little hotter. Again. Also going to take some fresh magenta, put right up the top here. There we go. So this guy now has a kind of pinkish warp flame. Right. Okay. He's been yellowed, he's got pink warp flame. Oh, he needs to get his toes done. We gotta do his toes. Now what I'm gonna do for his toes is now I used Briar Queen Chill for the other guy. For this guy here, he's gonna get a very thin coat of Frost Hearth. Not a heavy coat at all. I want it to be a very light blue. want his toes to be a very light blues. Now he's got light blue feetsies. His tootsies are a little bluesies. And I'm going to do his nails black. And that time comes. Actually, I'm curious. While I'm here in contrast paint hour. This is what I picked up the other day. What did I take up? Bobby G. I took some Gilliman contrast paint. I have no idea why I took it out. This is a new one for me. My first contrast black. Darker tones, more of a gray. You know, I'm not opposed to it. You just gotta go a little bit heavier than what I did the first go around. Yeah. And then his back club. Ooh, I missed some blue on his back foot there. Fix that up in a second. This has been Garrett on Contrast Corner. Maybe at time wise. We're long. I have to trim some of this one. Okay. Carefully. carefully add the blue. Right there. There we go. Now his tootsies are blue fully. With some black nails. Okay. I'm not going to show you me doing the gems because I've already shown you guys that before. This video's already quite long, but I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how great Doomfire Magenta is. Yeah. So, there we have it. 3 little exalted sorcerers. A little bit closer to being done. So next video I'll pick one of them and then I'll do the finishing up on them. Yeah, hope that was helpful. I hope the yellow helps you. It helps me. Hope it helps you so you can do whatever the fuck you want color wise. Again, do not recommend Fuegan Orange, unfortunately, but that is the way it be. See if I can get the light on this guy. Makes it look a little better. I think it looks way better under the light. Yeah. Alright, well, I hope you enjoy it. Have a good one. Oh, and all the additional YouTube begging. All of the YouTube begging. I am begging on the YouTubes. Thank you.